Good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining me here today. If you found yourself here, there may be a message for your healing journey, soul's evolution, transformation, or simply information. Today, I would like to talk to you a little bit about value, life's value. What do you value? Have you been valued in life? I know life's journey has been interesting for me. It's one of my favorite words. It encompasses all good, bad, indifferent, yes, and the ugly. So, living with integrity, faith over fear, for my healing journey was imperative, important, sacred. That sacred dance to find your soul, back to your soul. So far beyond what I've gone through, I've learned a lot of things. And as a empath, I've felt a lot of things. I see, hear, and feel a lot of things. I always have. And along the path, there's people that have been placed in my life, whether they were intentionally supposed to be there or not, inserted themselves to sort of, I would say, pound in an experience. But energetically, you can release those things that no longer found your healing and they don't like it. So along the path, maybe they've tried to steal you, your essence, your energy, because you're sensitive. That's what they say. They call us people that are empaths, intuitives, seers. We have wisdom far beyond what we or they know of. It's just in us. And when you're given the opportunity to help others heal, it's profoundly moving, not only for them, but me. I feel things on so many different platforms, but the purpose of that is not to cause injury or suffering to yourself, it's to understand what people go through so you can help them heal, whether it's animals, it's an innate knowing, intuitive things, right? For me, it's unique, but the journey has been challenging at times because of other people trying to harm me and my family along the way, especially my children. But for myself, I think of different people, big people along the way that have connected with me that I've never met. Well, on a soul level, I've had the opportunity to work with them. And when I think of big people, I mean famous people, their music. Lionel Richie talks about value. He calls it value. I love Lionel Richie. And of course, do you feel valued in life? It's not like his road was easy, but their music is profound. It's going to last through eternity. And when he lined up with Diana Ross, how beautiful, right? What a beautiful song and dance they had. They have music out there that touches your soul. Endless love. And when they looked at each other, whether they had that type of relationship or not, they had love for each other. You could tell, you could feel it. And I can feel it now through every being of me. So those are profoundly moving things, right? So I hope everybody receives that love, and someday I'll get to know that. Through all the adversity I've had to go through, that's probably the rainbow to find that. And when I hear that song, no matter what day it is, where I am, it makes me cry because it's so profoundly moving and beautiful. We all deserve that. We do. But you have to get through these things to find it, right? What is love? What is that sacred dance of intimacy with yourself and somebody else? Well, you will line up for it. And when you do, it arrives, even though people try and steal it. I Want to Know What Love Is song came out, I don't know, in the 80s. I still want to know what that means in a partnership because I've had karmics the whole way. Unfortunately or fortunately, I've learned a lot and they failed to meet the mark, right? Or is it that you learned a lesson? Well, I did. a lot of lessons along the way. Always live with integrity, even though they've inundated people, places, and things to try and steal your light, your gifts, and of course, your careers, right? So, value. Do you bring things to the table? I find value in a lot of people, places, and things. It's not what you have in the bank, right? It's not like people that give you a smile or hold the door don't have value. I've had little people when I worked with pediatrics. I love them. They all brought value to the table. They're so open and honest. It brought value to my heart, the pictures they drew and the stories they told, and they're so beautiful. I'd always ask them, "Where's your rainbow today?" No matter what the pain is that they had in their heart, body, mind, and soul, they could always see the rainbow because they're beautiful, gifted little people that bring value to their family and friends, and it's beautiful. So, who brings value to your life? I know at certain jobs I brought value to the table, even though I was learning. And when I was a teacher, I did bring value, and I knew that because I could see it in their work. I could feel it in my heart, body, mind, and soul. Maybe all the other teachers gave up on them, but I saw something in them to bring value to this world, and I was able to pull it out from them. And maybe that was a gift because everybody else gave up on them. It's not ego based, it just was. And I was so proud of them because they're successful today in whatever they're doing. And I've seen them and they've told me so. So I know that. And they're happy. So value. But during that time I was learning, I wasn't valued by certain people. And actually, years later, when I worked very hard raising kids alone, trying to work my way up through the system, and it was beautiful, the Harvard affair. I worked hard because I'm a go getter and I wanted to be at the top, learn from beautiful people that had gifts beyond mine. And I was blessed with that experience and valued by a lot of people. But certain people at the top, or maybe in a management position, told me I would never get to where I wanted to go because I was a single parent. And therefore, somehow I was less than valuable, right? How interesting. I didn't say anything. Of course, I cried on my own because I worked hard to get to where I wanted to go. I always have, always have, always have. That was the way I grew up. Work hard to get ahead, right? And save and all the values in life. Work hard to buy something and keep it, you know, take care of things. That's what I've done, take care of things. Value. Years later, it was a couple years later, we were in a big, literally, atrium of people, all of different income ranks. And it was a meeting, a mandated meeting, once again, before you work. And it was brought out that this person said that to me because other people have now experienced that. We were told that this person was let go from the company and its existence. And I was put on the spot to share a story. I was embarrassed and humiliated. And I was basically told I should have spoke up. But even if you did, they acted as if you were somehow snitching, that you were feeling sorry for yourself. And actually, I think I did tell my manager at the time about some things that were factual. And she circled back with tears in her eyes now, having a child, married, divorced, in recovery, saying, I don't know how you did this. I can't do it on my own. She moved in with her parents and a couple other people that were blessed to have parents that they could live with, take care of their child while they're working. I did this on my own somehow. No, it wasn't perfect, trust me. But I did it because I was told you made your bed and you lay in it. And I did, all by myself, every night. Getting up early to make sure I was ready for whatever the day brought. Getting my children off to school and daycare, going to work, driving an hour each way. Taking the kids to sporting events. And any day that I burned off, I was doing something with them once in a while, taking myself to a movie or going out with friends if they had a day off. Maybe they were in the same industry they could. Or showing up at my kids' school because they mattered. And I wanted to make sure they knew that. So I didn't miss the Valentine's party. I didn't miss the donuts with dad, muffins with mom. Who the hell named it like that? Seriously. But it was because we had muffins with mom and donuts with dad. And I would show up. Yep. I was the only female with the men showing up for donuts with dad. I looked at them looking at me. And why are you looking at me like that? Same fools that can't show up for the kids in the rain at soccer practice. So I did that too. I had learned what the hell the soccer book was, right? Showed up at hockey practice, baseball, everything I could. And made sure if I couldn't, because I worked, kids had lots of snacks and money while they went to hockey on the weekends for the tournaments. So, value. I guess they found value in me because somebody else shared the experience I was higher ranked. And then, and only then, was I valued by certain other people that didn't see the story because they were inundated with a bunch of bullshit of me and my skill set, even though I had great reviews and asked to speak at every graduation possible. Tears in my eyes because I was proud of somebody. Well, sometimes you never know where you find value. Certain jobs, certain places, you know you have value. And even if somebody else didn't value you or value, fix you, Lionel, you'll find it within yourself and other people. And maybe someday others that are higher ranked than you will see it when you're gone, far before you leave. Hopefully, other jobs I've had, you have value because you do the job of people that need you to do your job so they can do theirs, right? But you're bullied behind the scenes because they are jealous or working with the enemies who inundate other people with bullshit, lies. It causes disharmony. And you show up, do your job because you live with integrity. And now when you're gone, maybe they value you only because their workload is a little bit deeper. Even though you had to do all these mandated things, they didn't give you credentials, but you're doing the job of somebody that does. You're not getting paid, but you're doing the dirty work. You're doing for people's jobs to make their life easier, all while they don't value you till you're gone. And they still talk about you, laugh at you. But somehow God has a plan. I still live with integrity and walk with grace. Value. How many songs can we listen to that make you sad and cry? When I think of people of value, I think of the great Whitney Houston, who didn't know her own strength. And this morning, and lots of days, they ping me with their songs and I play them. And I cry because I felt her pain when she died. I was in St. Louis, Missouri. I was so beside myself, never met her in person, but felt her pain and watched her. And she showed me how she passed away. I was so beyond myself, the emotions today, but she's stronger. And she says, "Girl, you get this. You got this. I can weave in between." And she is healed. And her music will go on. And all of you out there, just listen to the song and let it ping your body, mind, and soul and release that pain, trauma, shame. For her body is at peace. I know it is. And she's singing in the choir, along with all the other favorites, Miss Aretha and everybody else from the other side. Yes, the Princes, the Michael Jacksons that grew up hard and had strict homes. The music will live on forever. Amy Winehouse and Kurt Cobain's how they went out, but sometimes their music, whether you like it or not. I've listened to them and they've brought their story to me. So I'm here to say they are at peace, most of them. They're still working on some aspects, but Whitney in particular, what a tender, loving soul, beautiful, gifted person. And I love her dearly, and she is in peace peace, and may she find peace in eternity. She's earned it, no matter what happened on her journey to bring her to her demise. Let's look at the gift that she got, the value to life, to everybody's life. It's important that we find value in things that matter and dissipate how they went out, right? Because her soul is so pure and full of light. From the other side, she didn't know her value, but she sang about it. So I value and honor all these people and anybody who's suffering in silence because you matter. It's okay to know you value yourself and that you matter. Those people that line up to you, for you, with you, and stand next to you maybe aren't here in the physical form, but you feel them, right? So I honor you, respect you, and know that you are lifted because you're gifted. In some way, shape, or form, God has a plan for all of us special people on this world, and we will find our self worth. If you haven't, help you, lift you to your light. Be yourself, be authentic, live with integrity, and make sure your heart is pure when you give your gifts back to somebody else, because that's what matters. Your value matters. You matter. Your sacred dance with yourself matters. And yes, you will find somebody to love, somebody that will love you unconditionally and no wavering. We all have those gifts to give. And when you're ready, it will arrive. God is a plan for all, divine orchestrated, right? Open your heart and dance within your sacred energy because it leads to somebody else that you will be linked up with because they see your value. I know that to be true. Those of us here to help you along the way have had quite a journey, but we see the light in each other and God sees all. And don't worry, karma plays out whether you see it this lifetime or not. Spiritual law will have its day meeting the maker, right? So today, value you and take care of you because self care is sacred. So I hope this helps today. And